"That Civic is humiliating our family," my brother Daniel yelled across the parking lot of Brookside Country Club. "Either buy a real car or stop coming." I looked from his red Porsche to my navy 2014 Honda. It ran perfectly and was paid off. It was simply the only sensible car in a row of gleaming toys. "It runs fine," I said. "That's not the point. People judge us by what they see." Our sister Selena touched the hood of her pearl-white Range Rover. "Lena, you're 31. At some point you invest in something that reflects your status." "What status?" I asked. Daniel's laugh was short. "Exactly. 35 grand a year at that little nonprofit. At your age, I already had a penthouse." The knot behind my ribs pulled tight. To explain how we reached this boiling point, I have to rewind 3 hours. Dad was waiting under the club's archway when I pulled in, checking his gold watch. 20 minutes late, he said. Not impressive. Traffic. And I had to finish a grant proposal. "Another computer project?" Selena asked. "How are the keyboard lessons?" "I teach tech skills to kids who don't have computers at home," I said. "Call it charity work and move on," Daniel muttered. "When are you going to build a real career?" Inside, at our usual table among mayors, surgeons, and developers, the questions came in waves. Income, title, promotion, 5-year plan. Every answer I gave was compared to Daniel's partnership and Selena's boutiques and quietly marked not enough. By dessert, my life had been ruled a disappointment. Which brings me back to the parking lot, my Honda and Daniel shouting while half the club pretends not to listen. 30 minutes later, I was on the highway, my humiliating Honda humming, while Daniel's Porsche clung to my rear bumper. He clearly wasn't done fixing my life. Maplebrook isn't the kind of neighborhood anyone at Brookside brags about. Small porches, narrow driveways, single garages, the kind of place you start in and, according to my family, move out of as soon as you're serious. I pulled into my driveway. Daniel parked close enough that his front bumper almost kissed my plate. He got out, still burning with concern. "Lena, I followed you because we need to finish this," he said, waving at my white 2-story. "Fine for a starter place, but it's been 4 years. When do you upgrade? When do you show some growth?" "I own it outright," I said. "That's not growth. That's stagnation. And that car," he pointed at the Honda, "needs to go. It screams that you're barely hanging on." "I'm not struggling, Daniel." "Then prove it. Show me one thing in your life that looks like success." Something in me finally clicked. All evening I'd been defending choices instead of showing results. "Since you're so focused on cars," I said, "want to see my weekend collection?" He snorted. "What, you've got a second Civic hidden somewhere?" I didn't answer. I walked to the garage and pressed the remote. The door rolled up, slowly, theatrically. Inside, under cool LED strips, sat a midnight blue Lamborghini Huracan, a silver Aston Martin, and a black Ferrari that looked like a threat. Daniel stopped. "What?" he whispered. "Where did you get these?" "I bought them," I said. "With work you've never asked about." Daniel stared at the 3 cars, then at me, his mouth slightly open. "With what money?" he finally asked. "I work with under-resourced kids," I said. "But not for a nonprofit. I own 3 foundations. They're funded by my real job." "Real job?" he repeated. "The computer projects you keep dismissing," I said, taking out my phone. "Aurora Learning Systems. We build educational software for schools and companies." Graphs and numbers glowed on the screen between us. "Last year we did just over 60 million in revenue," I said, "with strong profit." He gave a thin, disbelieving laugh. "That has to be a joke." "Come see," I answered. I led him along the side of the house to the low, glass-fronted building. Inside, servers and workstations hummed in a long, cool room. "This is my development lab," I said. "It cost almost 4 million. I paid cash." Daniel moved along a wall of framed patents and awards. He stopped at a photo of me shaking hands with the Secretary of Education. "That's really you," he whispered. I woke the main dashboard on a wide monitor. "Roughly 1 million students are using our platforms today," I said. Today's revenue will finish just under $300,000. My phone rang. Harper University flashed across the screen. I put it on speaker. "Hi, Dr. Olson." "The board approved Aurora campus-wide," she said. 4-year contract, $12.3 million. Congratulations. "Thank you," I replied. "We'll start Monday." When the call ended, Daniel sank into a chair like his knees had given up. "All this," he said quietly, "and we spent dinner telling you to grow up." "You judged me by cars," I said. "I prefer building quietly than driving home in my Honda." Tonight, that finally felt like enough.